Cool. So are you in Dunners?
Yeah, man.
Are
Yep.
you in like a flat?
Yeah, I've got my own little studio apartment.
Oh yeah. So you live by
Yeah.
yourself?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
how do you find that?
It's great, man. Like I got to keep myself accountable for everything. So
Mm.
that's a good thing
Yeah.
'cause yeah. But it's also a dangerous thing cuz sometimes I just get into like I'm just going to play video games all weekend and there's no one around to be like, "Hey, maybe you shouldn't do that."
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I think in like a couple of months I'll be house sitting this place that I'm at by myself for like 12 weeks or something. So I'll yeah, go back to living by myself because
Yep.
I used to live by myself in like 2019.
Okay.
And I personally didn't really like it that much because you get freaked out at like all these little noises that happen. But
There's definitely that. There's definitely that. And like I don't it's not like loneliness, but like it's kind of like just being lonely. I
mm,
don't know how to put it. I don't know how to put it. It's like you're being alone. I don't know.
mm,
There's that kind of weirdness about it as well.
mm. I see you got
Yeah.
your electronic drum kit back there.
Oh yeah, man.
Do you
Yeah.
still
I
are you
haven't.
still jamming?
I am absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, wicked, nice.
Yeah. I've got that there, and then over there I get the acoustic.
Oh, the same acoustic.
And dude, that's the one.
That is the one. The
That's
ma-
the one that you found in the
yeah,
back of music.
the magic acoustic. That's cool, bro.
Oh my God.
I
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
look. Eh? Like the wood roof is real nice.
Thank you, man. Thank you. No, I'm
What?
I'm really stoked with it. How have you been? Like, I was trying to think, like, when was the last time we even caught up? I know we caught up, like, you and Mike and Bill and I at one point,
Mm. Yeah,
somewhat recently.
that was that was quite a while ago. I was at my last house during that. So and I've been here for 8 months now. So I would say it's probably been about 10 to 12 months since the last time we caught
Yeah.
up.
But I mean, like, you and I, like, one-on-one catching up, dude, it's
Oh
been
mate,
like 5 to 7 years, somewhere around there.
something like that, eh?
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I used to come in and visit you at the rock shop a little bit.
Yeah. That's
Um,
right.
and I remember you were like, "Yo, let's try and play a Blackleaf song," and I was like, "Yeah, I'll give it a go." Sucked absolute shit.
Oh, dude, yeah. I
I
don't
couldn't
remember that
play the
exactly.
yeah I couldn't play those for the life of me now. Eh?
No, me either, man. Wow, that was a crack. No, man, like, I was never able to play any of them on guitar except for Vicious Garden,
Mm.
even Green Goliath. The song that I wrote.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
I couldn't
did
play
you
that on
write
guitar
that?
really. You and I, it was a collaboration.
I thought oh I wasn't sure who wrote the main riff for that.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I put that together
Okay.
with your sort of guidance.
Not much.
That was
I
when
probably didn't add a lot. I probably just
you
added
definitely did.
frustration.
No, bro. Well, this is when we were tracking. It was like right after we tracked Seedling State, and I was living with
Mm.
Mike,
Mm.
and there was a series of maybe 2 weeks where you'd just come over like every other day, and we slapped that song together.
The only thing I remember from those was watching you play World of Warcraft.
Dude,
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, man. There was some. I was reminiscing about some funny parties we had at that house not long ago. I don't know how explicit I can get on details for YouTube, but
And I mean, go ahead and feel free to cut any part of this out. You can make some edits.
well, we did this and this now. Um, but yeah, I did my web developer course, and then
Yeah, how was that?
it was really intense, really stressful. But I got a lot out of it, especially in terms of like human skills, like reflections and interacting with people and um, yeah, just like conversational skills and stuff. I really enjoyed. I can't say I really enjoyed the coding side of it that much. Just it like and I kind of liken it to a lot of things that I do in life. I'm kind of naturally good at, and I can imitate, or I can just figure it out on the fly. But with coding, it's so structured and so like here's the way to do it kind of thing. That well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It just didn't. I just didn't ever had that click moment. Well, the way they taught us was here's the way you do it kind of thing.
Where did you study? Just out of curiosity.
It was at this place called Dev Academy.
Okay, yeah, I've heard.
Yeah, and we learned well, the base. It was split into two parts. So there was like a foundational course where we did like HTML, CSS, and a tiny bit of JavaScript, and then there was a boot camp where we did JavaScript and then a bunch of frameworks off that. But yeah, it just never had that click moment, eh? But you've got a full degree in programming, right?
I've got a degree in specialization in networking.
Do you want to
So
talk a bit about that?
absolutely, man. So I did a bachelor's degree at this place called ARA Institute of Canterbury,
Mm.
and it it's just like a generic sort of IT bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
But like in the first year, they just kind of teach you a little bit about everything.
Yep.
Not everything, but kind of a holistic view of the industry sort of thing.
Mm.
And then for the second and third year, students have an option to go down one of three pathways, which is actually what ARA means in Modi. It means pathway.
Mm.
My understanding. I might be wrong about that. But so the options are information systems, which is more of like developing processes and business sort
Yeah.
of stuff behind the IT scenes, programming or networking. And so yeah, I went networking,
Nice.
and that's essentially just the technologies that help people connect to the internet.
Okay. Yep. So and then you like kind of packed up your life wherever you were. You were in Christchurch, right? And then
Yeah.
you moved to Dunedin for a job.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy to make a move like that.
Dude, it was nuts, man. It was really emotionally stressful. Because like my mom and my brother, and my life for like the last 3.5 years was in Christchurch, everything. And I was really hoping that we could all sort of stay together. I was looking for jobs in Christchurch,
Yeah.
but these guys approached me, and it was one of those things that just kind of fell in my lap, and I just felt like if I didn't take the opportunity, then I'd always it'd be like one of those what if sort of things
Yeah.
for me. So it was nuts, dude, but I'm glad I did it.
Yep. So what kind of stuff do you do now? Like what is your job now?
So I'm a network engineer now at University of Otago, and it's just a variety of things, but
Yeah.
essentially it's helping people connect their devices to the internet, whether that's a printer, a phone, a computer,
Yeah.
a building management system, like card access and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So you get like Karen from reception who lost internet on her iPhone.
Yeah,
Yo.
well, so like the way that I get my work is through this ticketing system. And so there's like level 1 support, level 2 support, and if none of those guys can fix the problem, like it's not a password reset, it's not turn off your computer, turn it back on,
Yeah.
then it comes to us. And we got to dig into the manuals and figure out why the zeros and ones aren't in the right spot and that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have like a lot of like explicit mentorship when I entered the job. And so it was just kind of, and I definitely had help, but I feel like a large part of it was just kind of me figuring it out.
Yeah.
And I figured it out to at least some extent now. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I don't know, so
Yeah.
looking forward to learning more.
So what kind of things do you get satisfaction in your job? Is it just because it's just like problem solving? Is it like just a whole bunch of problem solving?
There's a lot of that. But there's also just a lot of like, oh, I've seen this problem before, let me just fix it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which isn't so much like troubleshooting as it is just kind of like making a quick little tweak. And then, but I really like exchanging information with the customers. So because I feel like a lot of IT, either they're like way too much technical stuff, like in their wording about what they're doing, or it's like no wording about technical stuff. It's just kind of like, okay, your computer's connected now.
Mm.
But what I like to do is just kind of like explain like a little bit, like because people will say like, oh, my phone's dead, or like my phone, like the desk phone
Mm.
or something like that is dead, and then I'll make it work, and I'll be like, so it wasn't dead, it was like not configured properly on the device that
Mm.
connects it to the internet. This one thing which does this wasn't working properly, and
Mm.
now it's working better.
Man. And you
Yeah.
figured out how to solve those problems without mentorship.
Yeah, well, they're easier problems to be fair, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's sick, bro.
Thanks, man.
I'm stoked that you found something that you're into, because you were like really heavily involved with the music, like a musical kind of creative career for a while, eh?
My whole life, man.
Mm.
I mean, I don't know if working in retail counts, although I'd see it kind of as a similar sort of venture, you know.
Mm.
It was like, how can you work and make money as a musician? It's really tough to find like a stable work environment as like a gigging musician.
Yeah.
And it's like if you want to be like that was kind of where I was at with the rock shop thing. It
Mm.
was like I wanted to be a musician, but I also wanted a stable income.
Mm. Yeah.
And there's
It's
not many options.
it's like you've got the retail or teaching, basically.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Unless you somehow get enough gigs that you can play, you know, 4 or 5 nights a week, and then even then you're still just playing shitty covers at a pub.
Yep.
It's
Or
like,
or at a wedding or something, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, wedding gigs are kind of fun. They,
They're definitely better than pub gigs.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, you have to put up with shitty drunk people at both places, really.
That's true. It's true.
I've got. Did I ever tell you about the wedding I played? It was like way up north once.
Maybe
So
I
I
don't
like
remember.
I met these guys. There was a Facebook page that musicians used to talk, you know, put up gig advertisements, and they're like, well, "Yo, we need a bass player for this wedding. It's happening tomorrow, or it's happening on the weekend, or something." And I was like, I didn't even hesitate. I was just like, "Yo, I'm down." And then they sent me a song list, and it was about 50 songs that I'd never heard or listened to or even were remotely familiar with. And I was like, fuck me. So I called in sick. I went to, and because I was working at Noel Lehman at the time, called in sick, and then just spent like 2 days and nights just learning songs. Like I learned every song on the list. We drove all the way there, and I had only met the piano player and the singer, and we got there. The drummer, he only had a snare drum, I think, or he had like a snare drum and a kick drum, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't want to do this fucking gig," and I was like, "Okay," and then like literally 5 minutes before we started, the piano player was like, "Yo, do you know this song?" And it was a completely different song that wasn't on the list, and I was like, no. He's like, "Oh, it's easy. It's just like this." And I'm like, are you fucking shitting me? And then I ended up fumbling my way through it somehow. But then we were playing, and the drummer kept giving me all these like side eyes. Like he was like he kept looking at me like I was making like a shitload of mistakes, which I was, but it was like, dude, you've literally got a snare drum and a kick drum, and you're giving me shit.
You can't talk, man.
I know.
This drummer, no.
But yeah, it ended up. It was fine at the end. But yeah, I never heard from those guys again. And then we were heading back, and it was time to get paid. And the singer was the one in charge of the money, and he gave out some money to the piano player, and then he had my money in his hand, and he kind of looked at me like, and then gave it to me while sighing, and I was just like, what the fuck is your problem?
The hell?
Yeah.
What was his problem? Did he say? Did he ever say?
They thought I played too shit to get paid. with 2 days notice, 50 songs I'd never heard, and yeah, it was brutal, and I had to sit in the car with them for 2 hours after that.
Shit, man.
That was one example of why I got kind of turned off playing random gigs with people.
I was just gonna ask, so like, I mean, since it's been so long since we've caught up, man, like, fill me in on like what happened when with the music career. Like, you were doing
Oh yeah.
Jason McIver, you were doing the Amy Chrysler project, you were gigging, you were touring around with a star, I forget her name.
Kaylee, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, mine and Jazz's stuff. Jazz is my sister, incredibly
yeah,
talented singer. She,
yeah.
we still write occasionally. We haven't played any gigs really. And then, yeah, I was doing a whole bunch with Kaylee. Like we were doing tons of South Island stuff. But then it sort of got to the same vibes as there was a couple of bad nights. Like we went to we played in this place called Waimate, which is this absolute I don't even care. It's this absolute fucking garbage hobo town in New Zealand. And there was like some like drag strip or like drifting course going on, and me and the drummer were just walking around. This fucking cunt comes up to me, and he was like here on me, and he like barges into me, and he was like, "Watch where you fucking walking," and I just turned around, I was like, "Watch where you're fucking walking," and then he turns around and comes up to me, he's like, "You fucking walk, cunt, you wanna fucking go fuck," and I was just I literally just laughed at him. And then he wanted to smash me, but we just walked away.
Yeah.
And then we saw him
Oh,
again at the gig when we were playing, and there was just a whole bunch of other munters. And then we had like probably 3 or 4 gigs like that, and I was like, this is not what I want to do.
and what kind of music was it? It was
It was
pop.
country.
It was country, and you
Yeah.
were getting these kind of assholes at your gig.
Yeah,
Like,
they're the only
you
ones that
expect
want to
like the
listen.
Blackleaf gigs, not the country gigs.
Yeah, I know, right? No,
Yeah,
with Blackleaf, like we only ever had amazing fans that
true.
they were
Albeit there weren't very many of them,
yeah.
but they were good.
Yeah. No, I loved every single thing about the Blackleaf shows. But yeah, the other gigs that I did were just like a tenth as fun as the Blackleaf shows.
Man, we had so much fun.
Dude, yeah. Like honestly,
Even
we played like the King's Arms, like we owned that place.
by the time it was torn down, man, we'd gigged there 30 to 50
Yeah.
times. I
Yeah.
feel like.
Yeah, something insane. Were you going to say
Yeah.
something?
Oh, I was gonna say, like, even our like weekly practices, those
Mm.
were fucking awesome. Those
Yeah.
were always awesome. Like, dude, it was fun.
Mm. Yeah, man. Like, and that's what kind of grew my passion for music in the first place. And I remember, I'm just randomly remembering this now, a conversation that we had. This was probably 2013, I think. Maybe just after we released Key to Infinity. And we were talking about, because we both wanted to go and do study or something. And we were like, oh, when you're done with your degree in 3 years or so, and I'm done with whatever, then we were going to think about going to Europe. Do you remember
Oh my
talking about
God,
that?
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should still go, man.
9 years
Where are we
later,
going? Where are we dropping?
dropping into Germany.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I do. I have always wanted to visit Scandinavian countries though. Have you been to Europe?
Uh, Not to Scandinavia.
Mm.
I've been to some of the Mediterranean countries,
Mm.
Greece and Italy, and actually went to Israel one time.
Mm.
But no, I love traveling, man. Although I just got back from a trip to the States. I was telling you about that, the
Mm.
camera I got. Traveling is like it got so much more intense like
Oh
after
yeah.
COVID.
Yeah, did you have any like interesting experiences like while you were at the airports and stuff?
nothing like crazy. Longer lines. I
Mm.
noticed that like tons of flights were canceled or delayed when I was going both ways. I got really lucky and none of mine were.
Mm.
But like, it's like a 30-hour trip to go from my place in Dunedin to my dad's place in Portland.
Mm.
And like I had a mask on the whole time. You know what I mean? 30 hours straight.
Yeah.
It gets crazy.
Dude, I can barely go to Pack and Save with wearing a mask.
I know, man. Yeah.
I like sat down in the doctor's office yesterday. I was just like hyperventilating almost from like this 5 second walk from my car to the doctor's appointment because I had to wear a mask.
What kind of mask do you have?
Oh, it's these like black cotton masks. I think they probably don't have the best breathability, but
Yeah, like I was messing around with a lot of those like like nicer masks like the N95s, and then
mm,
I just went back to like the plain medical
yeah,
blue mask because I can breathe in it
yeah,
actually, like
yeah, those are much better. What's everyone's attitudes towards like masks and COVID protection in the States versus South Island?
night and day.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just I don't know how it is in Auckland, but like generally in Dunedin, like if you're gonna be out and about, like outside,
Mm,
even in town, like you don't have to wear your mask. That's cool. No one really
mm,
cares. But
yeah,
like if you're gonna go into a shop, most of them don't legally require it, but it's just kind of like polite.
yeah, yeah. I agree with that. Yeah,
So that's kind of what I was doing in the US,
yeah.
but no one else was wearing a mask, dude.
Really?
Ever.
No one at all wore masks.
No. Like
Wow.
there's signs everywhere. No masks required.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Because I thought
Is
I heard something to do with like you can get sued or something like that if you don't wear a mask or you give someone COVID or something like that.
you can be sued for personal damages in the US, and I don't think you can be sued for personal damages in New Zealand. I could be wrong about
Hmm.
that. Or at least it's very uncommon.
I
But yeah.
yeah. It might have
There's
been
probably specific settings.
yeah. I think it was more to do with like a say a concert or like an anime expo or something like that. Like a lot of people, like everyone still wears masks. Where like a concert in New Zealand, like you probably wouldn't see anyone wearing a mask. Maybe
True.
like I find the whole mask thing a bit stupid, really, because like you go like I get it at like Pack and Save or whatever, but people like kind of look at you weird if you don't wear a mask. But then you can go to any nightclub in the entire country and literally no one gives a single fuck, and they're just like basically making out with randoms on the dance floor. It's like, but I still have to wear a mask to Pack and Save. It's like, come on, man.
No, I agree with you like halfway
Yeah.
because it's like I always thought it was really strange like when restaurants opened again after COVID and it's like, all right, you can come and eat at our restaurant. You gotta keep your mask on
Mm.
while you come in, while you talk to the waiter, like while you're going to your table.
Mm.
But as soon as you sit down, that's all right. Now you can take your mask off.
Yeah.
It's
It's
like,
like,
how does that make any sense? They're like, well, you have to have your mask off to eat. It's like, no, I know, I get that. It's like
mm.
mask on, mask off. And the other thing about masks, and look, I'm all about public safety. So even if it's not for my benefit, I'm happy to wear a mask if that's like the thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was gonna ask you because a lot of the themes in your talking a lot in the podcast is like based around like society
Mm.
and school and work and stuff like that. So where are you at with that, man? Like,
It was just the after I finished my Dev Academy and I started looking for jobs was when I just got hit with so many like thoughts about like this is my only option in life is to get a job and just work for someone just so I can afford to eat and pay rent, like. And I just kind of hate that I only have one option in life, otherwise I'll be homeless. And I'm lucky at the moment where I don't have to pay too much rent, but there has to be some other way to live and survive and do what you want without having to work at those places. Because if I did do that, yeah, I might have a good time for a couple of months, and then I'll be like, I just feel like this is so pointless. Like, why am I using my life like this? But then it's like, oh well, you're just going to use your life starting a YouTube channel instead. And it's like, well, that's what I enjoy doing, and I love doing this. Like, this is the first thing that I've actually loved doing since I was crazy about music, is releasing these videos and just talking in front of a camera and talking to you guys and making content. I really do enjoy it.
Well, it's good content, man.
Thank you,
Keep
bro.
it
I
coming.
really appreciate that.
Definitely keep it coming.
But yeah,
It's been hard to see you like so upset, I guess, in some of the videos. That's not really a criticism, but it's just kind of like it just hurts a little bit to see you kind of upset about life, you know? Like
yeah,
I wish you weren't upset, but yeah. I mean I share the same sort of thoughts.
Yeah, I was talking to someone about my trains of thought, and they were like, they said that the things I was thinking about were pointless because there's nothing I can do to change it. And when they were thinking about it, they were pretty downcast and depressed because they realized that there was nothing they could do. And that's what they thought of in their own mind. But we were sharing the exact same thoughts. And I said, that doesn't depress me. It motivates me because, I've talked to so many people now that actually do share the same thoughts that I have, but it is such an impossible task of how can you think of something else that benefits everyone, or that that means we don't have to just work these jobs and stuff. Like, yeah, it's kind of hard to talk about.
Yeah, no, it's cool,
Yeah.
man. Like like you and I both worked in music retail for a long time. And like personally, I struggled with that, like just kind of like in the terms that you were just talking, like, man, it sucks that I have to work this job, for the man instead of doing what I love. And even in the rock shop, I mean, you can relate to this as well. Like, it's even more rough because it's like you're right there, you're right next to the things that you love,
Yep.
but you're doing something totally different.
Yep. It was the exact same with teaching as well, man. It was like,
Yeah.
I was holding a guitar, I was playing a guitar for 6-7 hours a day, but I wasn't playing what I wanted. I wasn't creating. I wasn't, doing it for the love of it. And then you go home and it's like, well, I'm not going to play guitar now. I've just played guitar for 7 hours. Like,
Yeah.
what crazy person would play for a job for 7 hours and then go home and play for another 4 hours?
No, I mean, first off, you don't want to play anymore, and
Yeah.
and second off, like, there's no more creativity. Like, your fingers are tired, your brain is tired. Like, yeah, it's hard to really be creative in that space. Some people do it somehow. I don't really understand that.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But like when I was at the rock shop, maybe it was the same for you at Music Works. I'm keen to hear your answer on this. But I mean, I was depressed. I was depressed that I wasn't doing what I loved, But then I came to terms with it in a way, and the way was this. It was like this. I told myself, it's like, this is not a music job. This is a job in retail, and I'm gonna help people get what they want. I'm not gonna do any like sleazy salesman stuff. I'm not gonna like try to upsell unless I really think it's something that would be required for the person.
Yep.
And so then it just became like, I'm just here to help people. And that was when I sort of really bought into that mindset, was when I was going through that whole tough situation up there in Auckland. And I was kind of isolated. And that working for that really brought me some peace.
Hmm.
Um, but did you ever get to that when you were at MusicWorks?
I would say definitely not. I think I was I think I in the past I've been quite self-centered, where I don't think I had the capacity to think like that, because I was always thinking of myself and my own path, like um and instead of seeing a positive in it, like that seemed like quite a positive thing that you found. I always just looked at the negative. And I'd say I did have a similar experience to you when I started teaching. And maybe I came to those realizations when I was teaching that, yeah, I want to help people instead. Now I want to teach them to be the next generation. Um, which yeah, it gave me peace for doing the job for so many years. But then there was always in the back of my mind, like I'm not actually progressing my music career here at all, which just I eventually just ate away into the positive things that I was doing.
Are you
And
playing music these days? Sorry to
honestly,
interrupt you.
no, like
Yeah,
maybe once every 2 weeks if I'm lucky.
pick
Um,
up a guitar once every couple weeks, sort of
yeah,
thing.
I mean I've got it sitting there, and I do have a really cool new tuning that I'm playing with, um, but just doesn't hit me like it used to. I remember back in the day, I'd pick up an electric and I could sit there and play that for like 2 hours nonstop and have the best time of my life. Now I pick up a guitar and I only sit with it for 20 minutes before I get bored.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess that's kind of sad in a way, where it's like
It
it,
sounds like you're doing the right thing though, man. Like you're not forcing it, you know?
mm, yeah,
Like and just to relate it to my experience, I did the same thing that you're doing now. It's like I just when I left Auckland, left the rock shop and stuff, I just took a break from music, full stop.
mm,
Um, Picked up the guitar maybe once every couple months, like never
mm,
was drumming. Like I was just focusing on school and yeah, I was kind of depressed about the fact that music was this thing that was behind me.
yeah, yeah,
But, and I don't know if this will be the same for you. After about 5 years, it was like it was far enough behind me, like all like the rock shop and like working for, not that a rock shop was a terrible experience, but just kind of working in the same industry as my passion had was
mm,
so far behind me that I was able to actually just play it and just have fun.
mm, yeah.
Um, so I've been playing a bit more recently, but
I guess we're slightly different as well in the fact that you stopped working in a music related job like 5 years ago, whereas for me this is still like kind of fresh,
right.
and it's the only industry I've ever done. So I guess maybe I do just need to give it more time.
Give it time, man. Like you do, I think you're doing the right thing by, like I said, not forcing it, you know?
Mm, yeah.
And when I was when I was 15 or 16, I was with my best friend and we wanted to get tattoos. And my friend's dad talked us out of it.
Mm,
And basically what he said was, he's like, if I had come to you guys when you were 5 and said, "Hey, what's your favorite thing in the world? Like you can get a tattoo of that." What would you have said? And I was like, I don't know, probably Ninja Turtles. And then he's like, all right, what would you have said at 10? And I was like, something else or whatever. And he's like, so you want to get this tattoo now? He's like, I guarantee you in 10 years, you don't want to have that tattoo.
mm.
And I was like, but I guess my point is like, tastes change,
Mm,
identity. And a lot of what we do when we're younger becomes sort of our identity.
mm.
And some of that's probably healthy at the time, but I think it's also sort of natural for that to change over time. And
Yeah.
that's a painful process, man.
Mm,
but it's also normal, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's okay.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's good stuff. Yeah, what's that like? Like moving to a brand new city and trying to make connections and stuff.
It's not the first time in my life I've done it.
Yeah, true.
'Cause I moved to Auckland. I didn't know any. Well, my mom was there, but I had no friends.
Mm.
Um, you know,
But you made friends with our group really quickly when you
yeah,
came to Auckland.
yeah. So, do you know how that happened? Did you ever hear about that?
That was from you put up, or like Bill had like an ad for like a drummer wanted, wasn't it?
Yeah. And it was at Unitech, and that's where my mom was teaching.
Mm.
And my mom like picked down like one of the numbers from the flyer,
Mm.
and I was living in the U.S. and she was like, "Hey, there's the band here." Like,
Mm.
yeah. And so I came out to visit, and then I hit Bill up,
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah,
Oh, so
that was
you
obliged within.
true. So you just met
Yeah,
him when you were visiting instead of actually full moved.
I think that's how it was.
Hmm. That was when he was at that house in Glen Eden, eh?
Yeah, on Brandon Road.
Yeah.
It was in Glen Eden. Yeah, yeah. Or what's that area called? Kelston.
Yeah, Calston, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah.
So have you like tried to go out and like meet people and stuff in Dunedin
Um,
much?
I'm pretty bad about that, eh? Like, I'm such an introvert
Mm.
um these days, and also like I've just been really struggling to just try to get my head around my job.
Mm.
And actually at this point I've got a bit of a better grasp on it, so I'm starting to put feelers out there. I'm
Yeah.
trying like mentally, like I've got like there's a big event center near me, and they do like basketball and netball games, so I was
Yeah.
thinking maybe I'll go and see some sports,
Mm.
or yeah, I don't know. I need to get out there more.
Because if I think about like if I was ever gonna move, I reckon I would have a really hard time meeting people because again, like I'm introverted as well, and I don't really go out that much here anyway. But then I've had a little bit of a rough situation with like social connections and friends and stuff. Like my mate Sam. Do you remember him? I don't know
Yeah,
if you
man.
ever met. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He was like I would visit him like weekly when I was living in Te Atatu, and he got married and moved down to the South Island, and then I've got my other group of friends who lives in Te Atatu as well. Yeah, before I went to Dev Academy, like those were the only two people I would ever hang out with, and one of them moved to the South Island.
Right.
So I wasn't really going out at all or meeting new people or anything. But then when I did Dev Academy, I met some good people. So I hang out with them like twice a month or so now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And like, you're not like, what do you guys do when you hang out?
Usually just drink,
Yeah, just hang
get
out.
fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's good to have friends like that. I've actually, when I was working at the rock shop, I was in Henderson. There was a dude there named Ed for a while who was working with me,
Hmm.
and I made some post on Facebook before I moved down here, and he responded. He's like, "Man, I'm in Dunners. Hit me
Hmm.
up." So he and I hang out every now and then, but I'm working full time, and
Yeah.
he he's got like a family, so he's doing the whole family life
Yeah.
thing. So we don't hang out that much. Actually, he's coming over later tonight though, so that's kind of
Oh,
cool.
sweet.
Yeah, just kind of chill,
Yeah. Yeah.
play some Magic.
Oh, true.
Gotten way into Magic cards in the last like 5 years or so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
like
I've played like once since.
it's so much fun.
Yeah, it's so
So good.
complicated. My brain
Yeah,
my brain is too small for that game.
you'd be good, dude. I mean, I've just played it 1,000 times. Like,
Yeah.
every time I get better. So,
Yeah.
in theory,
I actually
I was.
remember sorry, this is just a random
I'll
tangent.
go for it. Yeah.
I remember I was hanging out with you once and we were playing Magic online and then
Yeah.
you opened some packs and you got like this mythic rare card, and you just lost your shit for like 20 minutes straight.
Yeah, it sounds about right. I love cracking packs, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I love playing Magic like in real life. I've got like cards like in real life,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
but they're taking up a lot of space. So like I should probably stop buying them.
I think I gave all my magic cards away. Oh yeah, because I was teaching, and when you talk to students, you talk about random shit, and then he was like, "Oh, I just started playing this new card game called Magic the Gathering," and
Brand new game.
I was like, "Really? Well," and then the next time I saw him, I gave him, those white boxes that they come in, like. I gave him 2 full boxes and just chucked all my rares and mythic rares in there as well, and my planeswalkers, and just
Oh,
gave them to
man,
him. Yeah,
the man.
he would have, yeah, he would have
Yeah.
loved that.
No, it was interesting. Like once I got my degree, it was a really strange feeling. It was like the whole school thing became much clearer all of a sudden. It was like, oh, I didn't actually. And like here's my theory on school now.
Mm,
It's like don't go to school if you want to just learn something.
mm,
Because you can just, if you want to learn something, man, there's tons of free courses online. Just go and learn it.
yeah,
You don't
yeah,
have to go to school to learn something. But school is extremely valuable, in my opinion, for 2 reasons. First one, the piece of paper at the end. Because employers love it.
mm,
And I mean, it kind of tells employers that you can put up with being told what to do for 3 years, sort of thing, essentially. Um, and then secondly, um, making connections.
yeah, yeah. Connections is like half the battle, eh?
Totally.
So
I mean, it's not really. Yeah.
did you find your job through one of your connections you met at uni?
Yeah. Well, it was from one of my lecturers,
Oh,
and it
okay.
was totally just like a luck sort of chance sort of thing.
Yeah.
It was like I was doing this capstone project,
Mm,
which I really wanted to be cool, and I really got lucky, and I got offered like this really cool capstone project, which is basically to um, there's like a new field in IT called infrastructure as code,
mm,
where you can essentially like script the creation of a network and then have it deploy and have it like undeploy with just like a single couple clicks instead of like taking like days to go about making this. So I did that for my senior
okay.
capstone,
Yeah.
and I was like stoked on it, man. Like I
Yeah.
was like, it was so cool. And I showed. I was just in class one day, and people were working on a lab, and my lecturer came up. He's like, "How you doing?" I was like, I'm good." And he's like, "What are you doing for capstone project?" And I was just like, "I've got my laptop. Can I show you?"
Mm,
And so I showed him. And then later that day, someone from University of Otago contacted Ara, and they're like, "We're looking for someone who's been trained in like Cisco stuff.
mm.
Who should I talk to?" So they put him onto my lecturer,
Oh, yeah.
and my lecturer was like, "Hey, you should talk to this guy," and pointed him my way because I just showed him that thing.
Yeah. That's
So
awesome.
it
Those
was one of
magic
those,
moments.
man.
That's
It was
awesome, dude.
so scary to move down here, though, man. Like
Yeah.
honestly,
No, that's super brave to do that.
my brother moved out from the U.S., to live with me in Christchurch, and he was going to school as well. And the whole plan was we're both gonna, graduate, get a jobs, and be able to like
Yeah.
be around each other and support each other. But just didn't work out that way,
Mm.
unfortunately. We still see each other a lot. Like I catch up with him on Monday and Friday,
Yeah.
and then I catch up with my mom on Tuesday and sometimes also Thursday, and then I catch up with my dad on Sunday.
Yeah.
So that's how I've like maintained relationships being in a city where I don't know anyone. Is I'm just always catching every night almost I'm catching up with people online.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, things like Discord are so great for that now, eh?
Yeah, dude.
It's like there's no There's no real boundaries for socializing.
Incredible.
Yeah, I mean it's also kind of tempting to like just not go out because all of your mates are online, and I think some people don't understand that. It's like my mum's like, yo, you need a better social life. Like you you don't really go out. And I'm like, well, I'm talking to my mates online every night.
Like, Mom, you're not an epic gamer, all
Yeah.
right?
You're not a god gamer.
No, I think you're right, man. I think, especially with like Generation X, like the generation before us and on, like like people just not entirely. There's exceptions for sure, but I think
Mm.
most people in the older generations definitely, like you said, don't
Mm.
quite understand.
Yeah. Well, that's an advantage that our generation will always have is growing up with technology and making the shift from no internet to the internet. And like just
Yeah,
like when we were teenagers was when the first smartphones came out.
right.
Whereas they were already probably 40s 50s when they came out.
That was my 20s, but yeah,
Mm. You're slightly older than me.
yeah. You were 91?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was 86.
Mm.
Sorry, 85. 86. I was in 85. Yeah. So, dude,
I
I turned 37 in a couple months.
really.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, I'm 31 now.
Nice.
37. You still you're still the same as when you were 19.
Dude, that's the weird part is I feel the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think myself, I think I've definitely gotten way more mature than what I was back in the day. Um,
You're right about that.
I think I think I just my brain like developed slower than other people. I don't know.
Mine did too, man. I was right there with you back in the day.
You were always like way more smart about everything than I was.
I mean, you might think that. I mean, I was dumb as, dude. I was doing like stupid shit and like putting my efforts in places that they shouldn't have been placed. Not with regards to like Blackleaf or anything like that, but just like, well, with like mixing the album. I don't understand how I could have mixed it so terribly. Like in hindsight, like everyone I've played it to, they're like, yeah, that's good. I don't know. But I listened to it, dude. And actually, I was going to talk to you about this because I started remixing some of the tracks,
Mm.
and I was thinking like of maybe like re-releasing the album for the 10-year anniversary, like a remix of the entire album.
I mean, I'm surprised you still have the stems.
Of course, I got them, man.
That's crazy.
I think I've shared them with you on that
Oh
Google Drive.
yeah, yeah. I didn't realize the stems were in there.
Yeah, bro.
That's
Have
crazy,
crack.
dude. I would love to. I would love to hear that because I remember the what was that last song that we did? Edge of Time.
Yeah.
That the mix on that was so good
Yeah,
compared
that's great.
to like, and then Key to Infinity is just like kind of lifeless.
Yeah. Look, it's my bad. I just didn't. You know what I did? And this is one of those things I mean about being dumb is I bought like massive like studio monitors, like 10-inch monitors, and I was in a room that was like 3 by 3,
Yeah,
and like I mixed the whole album with those monitors being on like a 1 setting, 1 out of 10, like,
yeah, mm.
and
Yeah. That might explain a bit.
and like to just like keep it totally real, dude. I'm so sorry that I mixed the bass so low in that album. I didn't even know it was happening.
Well, I mean, you were like a student engineer at that point as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you hadn't like had the most experience, and I'm sure you did a better job than any of us would have done. and
Maybe at the
we didn't
time,
have
I
the
think.
money for proper engineering, so we wouldn't even have an album if you didn't do that.
Yeah, well, thanks, man. That makes me feel a bit better. Yeah. Remember tracking stuff up at Nick's place and what is it, Red Beach?
I actually, yeah, I do remember that. I don't remember that much about it though, to be honest.
Yeah.
You guys were up there way more than I was.
The drum tracks took a lot longer
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
like I mean, you were pretty solid on the bass at that point, and you laid your tracks down pretty quick.
Yeah, I remember having an argument with you guys about me wanting to
The
use the fretless.
fretless. Yeah, man, legendary argument. And it wasn't anything against you, you know what I mean? Like it was just like and honestly in hindsight it would have been fine.
Yeah, I do listen back to some of our recordings when I was using the fretless, or like recordings of our practices. It was like pretty on
Yeah,
most of the
dude.
time. Like there
Yep.
wasn't many moments where it was actually off,
No.
but it's
The only time I think it
definitely.
would have really made a big difference is in like the tapping parts.
Mm,
Those
yeah,
are those are a lot easier on a fretted instrument.
yeah.
But I mean, like that being said, like in hindsight, that was a battle I shouldn't have fought. You know what I mean? I should have just let you do it.
But then at the same time, my ego was so out of control
Mine was
that,
too.
dude, like I had no ability to see reason at all. It was just like I thought I was such hot shit that like there's no way I could possibly be wrong, and that's something I definitely had to come to grips with, and I actually came to full
Same.
grips with that at uni. Um, when I went
Was there?
into,
Yeah,
oh
sorry.
yeah, oh fuck yeah. Um, there was because I went into uni with the same hot shit mentality. Like I was playing, I still had my long ass hair, still wore my docks every day. Um, Played my fretless, and then I got this bass teacher, and he got me to play some like hip hop reggae, and I couldn't even play the most simple lines on for this hip hop stuff that I just completely broke down. And I was like, holy shit, I am so fucking bad at bass. And it took me a really long time to get over that and to get past that.
Let me just stop you right there because you were and probably, I'm guessing, still are incredible at playing bass. But here's the thing, and it's a metaphor, but like if you judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree, you'll think it's a terrible fish.
Mm,
My point is like you played bass incredibly in your style,
mm,
and maybe you couldn't play incredibly in other people's styles, but that doesn't mean you're not an incredible bassist.
mm. Oh, thanks for that.
Yes, sir.
I think it definitely, yeah, it was kind of like a good and a bad thing um, that I had that lesson, because it was good that I learned other styles, and I got like, I would say quite above average on every style, but I can't play that technical stuff like I used to. So I traded being really good at technical stuff down here to being, decent at everything.
That's I mean, I think that's a trade that'll serve you well in the long run because you're not going to be 80, playing super technical stuff. Probably.
I'll quote
You
you on
know.
that when I'm 80. I'll learn I'll learn some faceless when I'm 80.
Faceless. Yeah.
I still love the faceless, eh? Do you listen to them still?
Um yeah, I mean I still fuck with the faceless. I've still got them on my mobile phone.
What
But
what music do you like at the moment?
this is gonna be a depressing answer, bro. I don't listen to music.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've gone through big phases of not listening to anything.
It's weird. If like I listen to music when I'm driving to and from work, and again, this is gonna make me sound like a total douchebag. It's always the classical station.
That's cool.
I love classical music. That's how I started music. I was playing violin,
Mm.
and so like I still like to go back to my roots, especially just for listening to music, because a lot of rock is kind of sad,
Mm.
and a lot of hip hop and like rap is kind of angry.
Mm.
And those are generalizations, but like I don't know, with classical music, I feel like you can feel so much more emotions
Mm.
in one song.
Mm.
That's a cool thing, but yeah.
My recent jam has been fonk. Do you know what fonk
Oh,
is? Yeah,
no.
PHONK.
What is this?
It's like it's this really like hard hitting. It's like 4 on the floor kick drum, electronic stuff. Like it was weird.
Nice.
Like I stopped listening to metal completely, and the thing that got me back into music was electronic music. And now I listen to metal again, as
Cool.
well as funk. Um, I'll link you some stuff if you want.
Do. Yeah, please do.
Because
I'm
I love it.
curious.
It's great background music for everything.
Is it
You,
is it funky?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I wonder
Hence
if
the
I
funk.
can. I wonder if I can share some. Yeah, bro. It's been awesome to catch up with you, man. And I hope you. I really wish you the best of your job in Dunedin, and I hope we can catch up again soon because this has been an awesome chat.
Bro, I'd love to catch up anytime, and I wish you the best of luck, in your ventures. And if there's anything I can ever advise on, or feel free to use me as a resource for whatever.
I will. I'll suck you dry for it. Well, maybe I shouldn't say it like that. I'll extract. I'll extract things that I need.
Yeah, bro.
All right. I'm just gonna end it there.
Yeah.
いつでも